Is Arch Manning overrated? Arch Manning is the consensus #1 player in the 2023 college football recruiting class when looking across all services. But the question is he the #1 player based off his talent or his last name? Let's talk about it.
Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine. Whose world?
Now, this whole debate started when longtime college football analyst Mike Farrell said that Manning's family connection inflated his scouting profile. Farrell said if Arch's last name wasn't Manning, he will be a 3-star. You can't just drop Arch from a 5-star all the way down to a 3-star. Now, if you don't know who Mike Farrell is, he was the head analyst at Rivals.com. That was until he left and decided to do his own thing. And the last time I checked, Rivals.com had Arch the #1 player in the nation. That was when Mike Farrell was still there. So what happened? In my opinion, Arch Manning is a 5-star because he is more than a capable passer in the pocket and has athletic ability to move and create plays with his legs. Is he the #1 player? I wouldn't say that. I think I would take Malachi Nelson, Dante Moore, and Nico Amaliva before Manning, because all those players' film are more impressive with their mobility, their arm strength, and their deep field accuracy. Now, Farrell's argument is that Arch Manning hasn't progressed. I mean, Manning does play a very low level of competition at Newman High School in Louisiana. He had a really good freshman season, but I do agree with Farrell when he stated that Manning hasn't regressed or progressed. I mean, when Manning needed to step up against other competition, he looked awful, especially in the playoffs. I mean, he went 7 for 16 for 44 yards and 1 interception in a 49-7 playoff loss. That's unacceptable for the #1 player in the nation. With that performance, he might be a 3-star. I mean, I get it. Everyone has a bad game, but come on. Now, to have the last name Manning is important, and it's not just the name, but what actually goes into that. I mean, his dad Cooper was a tremendous athlete. Obviously, Eli and Peyton and Archie are great football minds. Arch has been taught from a young age. You have to assume that based on the success of everyone else in the family. So with that being said, Farrell's thought process was Arch will be a high 3-star if his last name was something other than Manning. Now, throwing the last name Manning and it gets him to a high 4-star. Farrell just isn't sure if Arch gets to that 5-star status in his opinion. Farrell then said every time he watches the other quarterbacks in this class, it knocks Arch down even further in his head. And I will kind of agree with Farrell. Seeing the zip of the ball that Malachi Nelson, Dante Moore, and Nico Amaliva has is impressive. And these guys are just flat out talented. Their 5-star ranking has nothing to do with their last name. From day one, they had to come out as unknown players and build their reputation from the ground up. And I'm not taking anything away from Manning. It's not his fault. But at the same time, he's not participating. He's not competing. He's not doing 7-on-7s as much as these other quarterbacks. And the word on the street is he was ducking smoke at the Elite 11 camp. But let me tell you something. Every time I look at a Malachi Nelson or a Dante Moore, I'm starting to like them better and better each day. Now, Farrell has Arch sliding into that 5th, 6th range in this class. Arch is definitely a top 4 quarterback, whether you place him as the #1, the #2, the #3, or the #4 quarterback. But if you look at Arch Manning's stats, especially compared to the other top quarterbacks, they're not impressive at all. As a junior, Manning threw for 1,947 yards to go along with 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. The other QB numbers are blowing his out the water. USC commit Malachi Nelson has thrown for almost 700 more yards and 13 more touchdowns than Arch. Tennessee commit Nico Amaliva has only 300 more yards, but his touchdown to interception ratio is maybe only second to newly Oregon commit Dante Moore, who has thrown for 1,100 more yards than Arch. But that's not to discredit what Arch has done in his high school career. He has thrown for 6,307 yards as a starter in 3 seasons with 81 touchdown passes and 19 rushing touchdowns. So I don't know. Yes, Arch is a good quarterback, but is he the best? Comment below your thoughts on Arch Manning. Do you think he's the best? Do you think he's the #1 quarterback, the #1 overall player? Or do you think it's just because of his last name? Comment below your honest opinion. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave a like. And like I always say, if you love college football or college football recruiting, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now because it's free. But until next time,